The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN. We kick things off 9:07 a.m. and we got about 24 minutes to go until the start of trading. And how about markets accelerating? We got jobs numbers this morning, good jobs numbers, good numbers, good earnings numbers from NVIDIA last night. And NVIDIA, you're going to be up by $10 in the pre-market. You're trading at 196. AI stocks higher. NASDAQ 100 up by 2% right now, up 490 points. Trading at 25,212. You get the Dow up, the S&P's up 1.6%, up 102 points, 67.64. The Dow up 436 points, up 0.9%. We got some Walmart numbers this morning as well. You jump over to Walmart. Check out Walmart. Up about $3 right now to 103.47 as well. We jump over to the Russell, up by 1.4%. Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin catches a bid, but we're right back to where we were at 10:45 in the morning yesterday. Bitcoin continuing to underperform the market in general, right? You look at where the NASDAQ 100, remember when the NASDAQ 100 and Bitcoin were trading together? Well, the NASDAQ 100 is currently way above the peak high at 10:30. And Bitcoin, that was your peak right there at 92,000, and you're almost $2,000 below the highs you had early 10 a.m. yesterday. So the selling is more pronounced, the rallies are less pronounced, and Bitcoin up by 1.3%. Ethereum not even up by 1%. Look at the highs of yesterday morning in Ethereum was 31.09. You're at 29.75 right now. Crude up 60 pennies. You were down to 58.75 yesterday. We're trading at 59.84, up by 58 cents. You jump over to gold, down by $1 at 4,081. You jump over to yields. We get some volatility on the jobs numbers right now. You get the 10-year, basically flat, but we got a little bit of higher price, lower yield. 112.22 right now on the 10-year. You jump over the dollar. 100.36 was the high. We're sitting at 100.20. A lot of dollar strength recently. Look at that, 5 days. Check out the daily on the dollar. And you're pushing the higher levels that we saw November 5th, about 2 weeks ago, 121. All right, let's take a look at the NVIDIA numbers. Expectations were sky high for the $5 trillion company. And if you want to be a $5 trillion company, folks, these are the numbers you got to put up. And they put them up, man. The current quarter, $65 billion is what they're going to do in 90 days. Whew. Margins, 73%. Where is it? I saw it last night. Quarterly income, $31.9 billion, 65% higher than a year earlier. Sales of the Blackwell line off the charts. The data center revenue, $51.2 billion. The market was looking for 49. And yeah, they don't have the margins in this one, but we'll talk about it later in the program. And yeah. And why is everyone selling their NVIDIA, right? Masayoshi-san, Peter Thiel. But yeah, the big numbers there. Sales in the October quarter, $57 billion. And the one coming up, $65 billion. Man, they're going to do $8 billion more dollars in this 90-day quarter than they did 90 days ago. Remarkable numbers. And the whole industry rejoices, right? Strong results show AI fears are premature. But yeah, you got a pop going on today, man. Everything's going to be higher. The quarterly data center sales climbed 66% year over year. 66%. It's amazing even a year ago, right? As the price of this equity has risen, it's remarkable that the multiples have actually dropped. All right, you've gone from a 60 times multiple to now pushing a 29 times multiple in terms of projected earnings for the next 4 quarters, as that price just skyrockets. All right, we jump around to some of the other Magnificent Seven. Oracle's not there. Why not? But we'll start it up because they're all participating this morning when they had some fears of AI. There's your action on Oracle last night, up by $7. You jump over to Amazon shares, up by $5 this morning. Microsoft, up by $4. Jump over to Apple shares. They're not quite in the same arena, right? They're only up $1.50 this morning. All right, jump over to Walmart with their numbers. We'll talk a little bit of Walmart when we get back. Walmart up by $3 to $103. Markets in the green. We're going to talk some jobs first when we get back as well. Come right back, folks. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger Zen, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger Zen, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Well, welcome back, folks. And on the jobs front, if you trust all this data coming out, okay, 119,000 jobs in September. It's almost December. But yes, that's what we get right now for the jobs number, 119,000 jobs added into December. Now, the market's forward-looking, okay? This data is literally almost 90 days old. Yeah, because you're going to start that in the beginning of September. It's almost December, okay? Nonetheless, employers added 119,000 jobs in September. And we also have claims out here. Okay, initial jobless claim declined to 220,000 last week. That one a little bit more normal, but when you start talking about September jobs data, folks, okay, it's very old data, to say the least. Yeah, so you have good unemployment rates across many different racial groups. So it's a big number, 119,000, but the market doesn't care this morning. It beat all 67 forecasts. City was the closest with 105. That's what I was trying to get to. Employment in transportation and warehousing down 25,000 in September alone. Healthcare added 43,000 jobs. I tell you, they're building a lot of hospitals out in Central Florida, folks. I'm not kidding, man. There are just mammoth buildings going up near me. And I tell you, right, what do we have? We got huge build-outs going on from D.R. Horton, Lennar, and somebody's got to take care of them with medical facilities, and they're building huge facilities out here, and people are going to be needed to be hired. Getting down to the exact 8:30 when it came out. So unemployment rate's 4.4. That's a climb. So the labor participation rate, forced participation rate, also climbed. And yeah, 220,000 is the jobless claims number, and we add 129,000. Unemployment goes up to 4.4, and the market was looking like for 50. All right. As I mentioned, we're not going to get the November number until December 16th. Okay, December 16th. And we got the next Fed meeting December 10th. They are light on data. All right, let's talk a little bit of Walmart. So, how about 4.5% comp sales? It's a big number, man. I was talking yesterday. Target shares look like they're under pressure. All Walmart's done is gone straight up for 3 years now. Yeah, you've consolidated. Okay, it's been quite a run from the April lows of 79 to 110. You've backed off a bit, but you talk about a run. Let's back it up a little bit further. Yeah, from this 2022, you compare that to Target. I mean, Target is 1/3 of the value that it was in 2022, and Walmart is 2.5 times the value since then. Pay attention to what's going on in those companies, folks. All right, I love Target. They got to get their act in gear. Maybe the $5 billion that they're going to spend on CapEx this year alone, yeah, maybe. But they got a problem, man. And Walmart's eating their lunch. No pun intended. Excuse me. Walmart saw a pullback in spending from lower income shoppers, especially near the end of the quarter. It gained market share with the biggest gains among high income shoppers. Why not? Okay, as in everything's expensive and paper towels are all paper towels, right? Household items that you need. Nowadays, they can get delivered from Walmart, from Sam's. Amazon's a competitor, of course. But I tell you something, folks. Think about it this way, right? Because I think about it, and you should too. If you're ordering something that's going to get delivered online, nowadays, all the biggest competitors are pretty good at getting to you free. They're pretty good at getting it to you for the same amount of time, as in they either get it to you next day, 2 day, right? And so why would you ever buy anything to get delivered from Target if the same exact item was available from Walmart? Because I'll bet you almost anything that Walmart has it cheaper. Outside of a few things, okay? When you talk about those certain items that, like a PlayStation, right? Switch 2. Yeah, they make sure that Walmart can't undercut them. Otherwise, nobody would ever buy a Switch 2 at Target. Pay attention to that business model. okay? Because everything else doesn't work like that. And a lot of people are saying, why am I buying it from Target if I can buy the same thing? Why are you buying any type of household item from Target if you can just buy it from Walmart and get it delivered to your door? And yeah, totally. Walmart's Costco for normal people, Duffy. It's you know, and hey, we don't even have Costco out here in Central Florida. We got Sam's, which is Walmart, right? And that's where I shop. And man, Sam's is packed. And guess what, though? Sam's, they're not giving away anything, okay? Yeah, there's deals, and there's really great deals sometimes, but they're still got to remain competitive, and you better price shop in Sam's a couple times, because a couple times I've actually been pretty surprised. I bought a package of tissues like 4 months ago, and I didn't even price shop it, right? Because I said, I'm buying it at Sam's. I trust Walmart. There's no way that this is going to be cheaper anywhere else, right? No, I pulled it up and they totally fleeced me. I bought some tiny little boxes of tissues and they were expensive. I digress. Overall, that's not the story to listen to, folks. The story is that Walmart's growing their comp sales at 4.5%. Walmart has increased the range where it can deliver products ordered online within hours, 95% of U.S. households. The company's e-commerce sales rose by 27% in the most recent quarter. This is what's going on. Okay, anybody can order anything and get it delivered next day immediately. There's no differentiator besides price when that's the case. That's it. Target comp sales fell 2.7%. Customers are hunting for value and prioritizing non-discretionary spending. Home Depot talks about it as well. But yeah, Walmart, you're going to open by about $3. Jump over to Costco right now. Look at Costco. Yeah, Costco's on the same run that Walmart is, though. Look at what Costco has done since 2022. Look at what Walmart's done since 2022. And then take a look at what Target's done since 2022. Okay, I love Target. Nothing on that chart saying it's a buy just yet, folks. You got negative action. Walmart, take a look at the volume. We're going to get some big volume this week. It's going to turn around that week. It's going to turn it into a green bar, and you're probably going to have it trading higher with volume. All right, folks, we're coming back for the open. NVIDIA, powering this market higher. We're up by $10. AI, in the green. We're coming back for the opening bell, folks.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019. finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got equities open, and we jump over to NVIDIA shares. You can't get much bigger, man, in terms of the numbers they put up, the growth they put up, the margins across the board. We're up by 4.4% right now, up $8, trading at $194, and you get a little bit of a give back, but boy, we held it, right? We've just held those highs, and we'll see how we react on the open. A little bit of selling as we come into that opening bell. Jump around to the other hyperscalers. Microsoft up by 1%. Amazon up by 1.5% right now. Google shares up by 3.3%. Meta up by 1.8%. All right, jump over to Verizon. Down by 2% right now. We're talking about jobs today. How about 20% of the workforce? Non-union. Non-union. All right? Yeah, that's because they can't fire the union employees, I'm sure. They're going to cut 13,000 employees. The bulk of affected employees off Verizon's payroll by the end of the year. They're gone like right now. They're going to make available a $20 million fund to help employees learn new skills, including retraining for a job market impacted by the rise of AI. Let's see. Yeah, so imagine that's about $1,500 per an employee they're laying off. $1,500 per an employee they're laying off is what that $20 million is. That's nothing. They have 100,000 employees across the country. About a third are represented by union. Few of those are going to be impacted. And yeah, they're having trouble. Now, you know, I'm biased here, folks. My mom, the only reason my mom is retired and able to work from, is able to not work and take care of Tommy pretty much during the day is that, while I work, while his mom works, is that, she was a union employee. That was it. And yeah, that allowed her, and what they did is they basically bought her out in 2019 in an effort to get rid of all those union employees. And that's the battle that's going on. And 20% of the workforce is gone just like that. And I'll tell you, folks, everything has extremes, right? Unions can go too far. We've seen that with the car companies in Detroit that wiped out Detroit, right? All those stories of the car companies just paying people to sit in a room, right? Because they couldn't fire them on the car companies. The other side of that is unions. Okay, unions for a generation, folks, allowed workers who worked full-time wages for great public companies to build retirement portfolios at the same time. Okay, my mom was able to retire prior to the age of 60 when she didn't start working in that job until she was after the age of 30 with no college education. Okay, and there's something to admire in that. And they bought her out early because they wouldn't have been able to fire her in the same way. Now, companies need the ability to be nimble, to survive, and it goes both ways. You know, there's double edged and everything, but there's so much hate for unions these days. And then I see a generation of parents that, yeah, right on, Ron. You know, and my mom, the one, she's the only one. Then there's no way that would happen across the board. Okay, you put somebody in that's a single mother in her 30s and goes and gets a job at Verizon right now, tell me what her financial outlook looks like in 25 years from right now. And I'm just not talking about Verizon. I'm saying you pick any single company out there, okay? She was a customer service rep for Verizon. But guess what, man? You know, you work there for 25 years. They take care of you. They bought her out early to make sure that they didn't have to deal with Verizon. You know, and that's what. And so what they would do is, right? She was on strike a couple different times over her period of time there, and the devil's always in the details, right? And the devil in the details of all of those negotiations that they would have. Yeah, two great ones, man. Education, too. Couldn't agree with you more, Duffy. Exactly. You know, folks, there's nothing like education. They can't take education away from you. And what they would do is they would do... they would move people. That was one of the biggest factors. It was a determining factor because she was worried, but when not taking the buyout, okay, is that what they would do is that they would close down an office and they would move everybody. And they'd say, we're not firing you, but you got to move an hour now, and your commute is now an hour. It used to be 5 minutes when my mom was working in Braintree. They had a office right in Braintree. Okay, well, that closed. Then she was driving an hour. Well, you know what? Then they closed that one. Then they got to drive 2.5 hours, right? Now, you understand why the business does it as well. But it was a way for them to know that they were forcing the difficult nature on the employees without firing them. So there were always the details that went into that. Nonetheless, you got Verizon. And, yeah, the whole landscape, right? But, boy, they've been underperforming, to put it lightly. It was quite a run-up. And this is, you know, she lucked out, too, as in the run-up. Okay, she retired right up here. Right, and she had some Verizon stock, of course. Okay, so the stock goes from 26 up to 60, retires up there. This thing's just been getting hammered, and on a volume basis, how about that for the selling on the earnings last time? And yeah, they got a problem. Okay, because I mean, realistically, the devices that are going to start coming out. Even Apple has a little bit of a risk here. All right, when you're talking about. I mean, what? We're going to have satellite phone coverage at some point, okay? And, yeah, you do have all these services now. Mint Mobile, right? $15 a month. Mr. Ryan Reynolds cashing in on that one. And it goes more than that. If you have Spectrum I'm familiar with it in Florida, folks. If you have Spectrum TV, Spectrum Internet in Florida, you can sign up for their cell phone service for like $25 a month and get a free line on top of that. Now, here's the kicker. Those services, just so you know, are secondary services. Okay, when you're signing up for Mint Mobile, when you're signing up for Spectrum Mobile, for the dollar, they're probably more than worth it for the dollar you're paying. Okay, but they are not up to par with the mainstream services. Because what happens is that you get into this deal where you're buying the airwaves off of the T-Mobile, okay, and they will downgrade your service at peak times, etc. Yeah. And, you know, education, folks, there's all this pushback on, you know, colleges, right? Education, brainwashing. Listen, it's a good thing to be surrounded by differing views, okay? Now, that goes to extremes as well. Everything has extremes, but education's a good thing, folks. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of being exposed to views that are radical. The best way to get over those is to use the words and win that argument as to why they are radical, right? Being surrounded by people that have vastly different feelings, that is how you grow. That's how you're exposed to differences, and that's how I think, myself, I'm talking, is how you are able to differentiate, you know, good policies, good things from bad. And no, I wouldn't put that colleges, universities, they're not just brainwash factories, okay? That's not as far as I'd go, as we're talking about in the den. All right, markets up 111, NASDAQ up 493. We're coming right back, folks.
Letters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, Verizon's got a great dividend yield. It's a great point. You know, talking about in the YouTube Tigers Den out there, that they do, man. What are they up to, like 6% or something like that? Let me see. Who just posted 6.6%? Thank you, EKS. You know, I'd watch that selling, EKS. That's it. And it's you know, at that type of dividend yield, you better believe it's attractive. I'm with you, man. But boy, look at that volume from October. Okay, that's a monthly. Look at that volume on that selling. Okay, you go to the weekly right now. And yeah, that was the selling right there. You get the acceleration. You get buying off the lows, but look at the rise. Lighter volume. And right now, looking at probably lighter volume again. It's a little bit of pushback there. All right, we're checking on Walmart on their numbers. Yeah, up by 4.7%. Strong numbers from Walmart, man. Up $4.64. NVIDIA. Give back some of those gains, but up by 3.9% for NVIDIA. All right, what else we got going on? We talked about hiring. Yeah, Warner Brothers. Let's talk about this one. So, Netflix has told management at Warner Brothers Discovery that it will keep releasing the studio films in theaters if it's successful in buying the company. Do you believe them? I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. They have contractual agreements to release movies in theaters Netflix would honor. what happens when those contracts get renegotiated, right? And that makes it easier. They're going to live up to the contracts they have. Up to now, Netflix has resisted distributing its movies in theaters. Yeah, and has grown to rival Hollywood's largest studios. A deal with Netflix will be the largest ever, and all those bids are getting put in for Warner Brothers. And it just keeps going, all right? We're up another 2.7% today. This thing was trading at $12 before the hysteria began about 2.5 months ago. And since then, it's about doubled in price. And right now, you're talking about a company. What are we pushing? About $62 billion. Okay, some of the numbers thrown around out there were $71 billion. As in the price tag that maybe Paramount Skydance was going after it with Middle East money. They were going to make a bid for like $71 billion. Maybe that would get done. The stock price alone puts it at $60 billion right now. So you're pretty close, $59 billion, as it says, market cap-wise. Quite a run, man. Doubling in equity. And they all want it. Paramount Skydance, chopping around a bit. We're up by 40 pennies, up 2.6%. We jump over to Netflix shares, down by 0.4%. Disney, yeah, I've been struggling since their earnings last week. Disney up by 0.7%. You know, talking about targeting it, and somebody made the comment in the Tigers Den, it's a great comment, that maybe they take some of that money and they invest it in groceries. Okay, let me see who was talking about that. Because it was a good point. Yeah, EKS. Thanks for the contributions this morning, EKS. You know what's interesting is I found myself thinking, right? So they are very sparse. They got spare on the groceries, okay? And if you've ever been in a Target where you're shopping, especially not one of those super Targets, okay? They got one of those. Target's refrigerated grocery section is like tiny, right? They have some freezer sections. But here's the thing. They probably don't have that because they can't compete on price with Walmart. They can't do it right now. I try and avoid buying everything at Target when it comes to groceries when most of those items are available at Walmart for cheaper. That's it. Walmart's 1 mile down the road from my house one way. Target's 1 mile down the road practically the other way, right? And I go to Target for the shopping experience. They might have some, I was going to say some different, better toys, but then I paused because they really don't. The toy section at Walmart's pretty great too, right? It's becoming ever increasingly difficult for Target to compete. And they could. Hey, listen, you want them to compete? I don't know. That's a tough one. And it's, maybe that's what they're going to go for, saying that the groceries will drive traffic. That's why Walmart does it, right? They knew that was their opportunity to grow, at least on a revenue basis. You bring everybody in. I don't know if at this point Target is $5 billion this quarter enough to do that. I don't think so, man. That's the worrisome part from a financial perspective on Target. They had those, what do they have, a Sephora area in there? Or what was the cosmetic area? Was it Sephora in Target? I think so, right? No, Sephora's in Kohl's, right? Whatever it is, they're pulling it out now. It didn't work. They have to do something like that. They have to create a unique experience. In my opinion, they cannot go down the Walmart playbook of saying that we're just going to start competing with Walmart on price. I just don't think they're too late to that party right now. That's from somebody that loves Target. But look at this stock. Don't love this stock. This stock chart. That's for sure. Ulta. Thank you, Darth. You're rocking. Yeah, and I think that's going out, right? I think that section is now going to be out of Target, if I recall. Yeah, they did. They ended their partnership with the last shop-in-shops closing in August of 2026. Actually, the Target that we were in recently, that whole area was roped off. I just found myself saying it's roped off. Is that... Maybe they decided for some reason, but it was roped off. I was in there like a week and a half ago, and they had that whole little Ulta section roped off. It looked perfect. Looked like it was still fine, roped off. Maybe they're shutting it down. Maybe they're already. Maybe it was just roped off for another reason. But, yeah, they have some issues. And, Walmart was struggling, And, you look at the grocery business is so competitive, right? I got two places I go for groceries, okay? I go to Walmart when I'm buying items that I can buy anywhere else, household items, and I want to save money. Sam's is the same thing, okay? We'll clue in one the same. When I'm going for good produce, right? When I'm going for maybe some good steaks, some good meat, I go to Publix. And that's kind of it. Now, you can find different meat markets, right? Maybe you got a nice fruit stand you like. But that's the difference that's going on here. And it's happening everywhere. And Walmart's stock price shows it. All right, we check in on yields. Got a little bit of higher price, lower yield this morning. The 10-year at about 4.11. Now, remember, we had the unemployment rate go up. Yeah, unemployment rate went up this morning on that jobs number from September. Don't get too distracted on the September number, folks. Okay, the Fed's not going to get distracted on that. Their next meeting is December 10th. You think they're going to be worried about what was happening on September 1st? Their meeting is December 10th. The data we just got started on September 1st, right? September data. But nonetheless, higher price, lower yield right now at about 4.1 on the 10-year. And to get ready for that December 10th, we're about to flip a coin, man. 50-50 so far. Now, we got a long way to go. Okay, we got about 3 weeks until that meeting. We'll get a little bit more Fed talk, but we're not going to get the jobs data, right? So what are we going to get? Right now, this market is not sure where we're going. 56% chance no cut, 43% chance we get that 25 basis point cut. You know what, though? The market says we're trading higher, man. NASDAQ up by 2.1%. We're coming right back, folks. We'll look at that heat map. We'll see what's driving this market. NVIDIA, of course. We'll look at some other equities. Come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Markets just keep going up. NASDAQ 100 up 2.1%, up 532 points, and the market takes a deep sigh of relief as we get over those NVIDIA earnings. Amazon up by 1.5. NVIDIA earnings holding on to the gains, up by almost 5%. Google up by 3.5%. Now, you talk about self-driving vehicles, man. They're coming to Tampa, folks, and Minneapolis and New Orleans. Waymo going to be in manual drives. Okay, planned soon. Manual drives, Minneapolis, New Orleans, and Tampa. They hope launching its driverless robotaxi service in those markets as soon as next year. That would bring the list of 15 cities for Waymo. And they're on highways now, those Waymo cars. You see that? Yeah, they're on highways now. So they're going to wait until the technology is validated before committing to the 2026 launch. Yeah. They're going to start operating test drives in the trio of towns with human drivers in hopes of launching its driverless robotaxi service there as soon as next year. It's a brilliant way to bring this into people's just awareness. Okay, imagine if you just saw all these cars on the roads everywhere and they didn't have anybody in the vehicles. Maybe it would be a little bit worrisome, it would be a joke, who's getting into the cars, but guess what? They're going to have people in there to begin with, so they're going to get you used to jumping in a Waymo vehicle, they're going to get you used to it, and then what are they going to do? They're going to drop the price dramatically when they don't have to employ a human being. Yeah. More than 10 million paid rides since 2020, 250 weekly paid trips. If that was a standalone company, somebody would probably buy it, which is why it's not. But if it was, it would be the talk of the town over and over, man. All right. Folks, stay tuned. We got our man Basil Chapman. He's coming up next to the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes, live at 11 o'clock with the Trader's Edge. Fast Market at 12. Larry Pesavento with Trade What You See coming up at 1 o'clock. This market, we got strength, folks. S&Ps, we're up 1.8. We're at tick highs right now. Basil's coming up.